Hey, g'day everybody, Scarvik here, once again having a look at some Atlas patch notes. And before I get off and have a look at some of the more significant changes, I'm here at base and I was just picking up some berries. That's, I don't know whether you could call it that they've gone the lazy route or not, but they've decided to introduce tranquilizer arrows into the game. And it's kind of like, well, didn't we already have trank arrows in Ark? Are you just copying them? It doesn't require narcotic berries because we don't have narcotic berries, so they've just said berries. It's a little bit of a cheap cop-out in my mind. I think that I would have preferred something a little bit more significant. Now, is that the same trank arrow image as Ark? I'll have to cut in an image over the top and see if it is, and you can choose for yourself. Well, I might go and make a few more of these, because I don't know that 5 is going to be enough. And before we go out and tame something, apparently the other thing that you can actually make is in here. There's a new item here for a keg where you can store 50 stacks of alcohol. Woohoo, I guess. I haven't really used the cooking that much in the game yet. It's something that I do need to do. I've made some of the food that allows you to at least have multiple vitamins actually resolved by food, but I haven't done much more than that. If people are interested in a keg with 50 units of alcohol, then great for those people. My farmhouse and my market and my warehouse are still all very much invisible, and that has not changed yet. So we're going to go out and we'll have a look at, seeing what we can tame, or what the trank arrows are, how they behave. And we might take a bear out because they're quite sturdy. But desirable, fashionable, bearable. They're going to be on that bloody boat over there. Right. Okay, here's all my imprinted ones. And my random guy that keeps waving. Yep, you can't wave because your hand's stuck. Hey. Okay, we have a bear. How good are you? Level 3. That's going to be great for a test, really. So, all the patch notes say really about the trank arrows is that they're effective against tameable creatures, players and NPCs are immune, which is great. I am still surprised that they went with trank arrows and not some other mechanic. Seems a little bit lame in my mind. But that's what we've been given. And we'll see what this does. You see the torpor damage there in purple. We'll see if we can knock it out. And I think the idea behind this is that once it's knocked out, you have the opportunity to then put some walls around it, or build a cage, or build something so that it can't move around while you want to then do the actual taming, which still requires damage and boulders and all the rest of it. Apparently my shooting is terrible there. Didn't think it was. Come on, go down. Takes a lot of arrows. Wow. Still hurts. There we go, it's down. Alright. What was that noise? Yeah, whatever. Alright. Oh, it's breathing. Right. Yeah, it looks like the bar is going to take a long time to go down. I can't access its inventory. So thankfully it's not really like the Ark system. You can still pick up the arrows, which is nice. Oh, hang on, is it? Oh yeah, there's not stone arrows from Ark. I thought it was, as I was picking them up, I was getting stone arrows from Ark as a replacement for the stone arrows in Atlas. All good. So yes, it's knocked out. It's taken a bit of damage. I suppose you could smack it around now, can you? Obviously I could build a trap around it if I wanted to. Yeah? Alright, so it's really, really low now. There's some kind of a lip there that I can't get over. You can't just feed it now, can you? No. I don't think I brought any bowlers with me. I'm not really going to bother taming it. But, yeah. Obviously you can knock it out. It's a lot easier to knock out. I know every time I've tried to use the horse actually kills things before it actually knocks them out, because it does kind of an equal amount of torpor to actual damage. and so things die very, very quickly. And so now that this is actually unconscious, you could bring in some fences and signposts or whatever, and you could fence it off so that, yeah, you can keep knocking it out and knocking it down, use your bowlers, feed it, all the rest of that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's no opportunity to feed it while it's unconscious, which is good. I don't really want the arc taming method in this. I guess I don't really get a choice, it's whatever they give us. This at least allows you to knock something out so that you have the opportunity to fence it off. Okay, so the new building, the lumberyard, you build it from the smithy as usual. Advanced automation in the construction and mercantile tree. So let's get ourselves a lumberyard and we'll go and place it somewhere. I wonder what the rules are. Shares the same placement restrictions as the farmhouse, but gathers a third more wood and a third more thatch, which just is meaningless still, but sure. One's a specialised building and one's not, although apparently they are. Essentially it is a farmhouse. It's been labelled as a specialised farmhouse, which leads me to believe that there will be other types of farmhouses with specialised purposes. So you might expect a quarry, for example, to turn up eventually. I kind of get it and I kind of don't. I like base building and all the rest of it, and I like the specialised buildings if they do bring them in, because I would have fun setting up an island base with all the stuff, right? I actually think that it would be really cool. So having a lumberyard, a quarry, and a few other bits and pieces sounds very, very interesting. But for the stated aim of getting you onto ships and more ship action, too many farmhouses in the area. 2 of 1. Do I have another farmhouse around here somewhere, do I? It's probably an invisible farmhouse somewhere here. But yeah, the stated aim of getting you back onto the water, it doesn't seem to hold true when you bring in all these buildings for harvesting your resources, because you still have to manage those farmhouses, you still have to manage the warehouse, you still have to come by and sort all the stuff, you got to go somewhere to actually place this building, you still have to feed it resources so that it can run. So yeah, I guess it saves you a little bit of time, but I don't know that it saves enough. But they also have a plan, and I don't know what the plan is, because they're not really sharing too much of the plan. Surely I'm far enough away from my farmhouse. Ah, there we go. Plonk. Alright, have some fuel. So apparently you get a third more wood and thatch, and I'm pretty sure that's all you get. Nothing else. That's pretty cool looking. Get rid of all the interface. Have a look. It would be nice that when it was running, this did something. That you actually saw it doing work as such. It's kind of like the farmhouse if the windmill actually worked and actually you saw it moving. That would be pretty cool. There's a burning sound. Oh. Wow. Really? So they've taken the model from a different building and forgot to get rid of part of it. Or move that to where it should be. Good one. Alright, what have we got in here? Absolutely nothing. Really? Why is it not gathering? I can't see the range of the building, mind you. Right, there we go. 32 a pop. Well, there you go. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to look at is the new resource. It's a new keratin resource that they've actually placed in the game. I'm not going to bother heading off to an island to find one of these, but these rhinos now apparently have a resource. Alright. It's not from harvesting it. Did I pick it up when I killed it? I did. Alright, so the rhino horn looks thankfully a little bit different from the Ark one, but essentially it is an Ark item. The woolly rhino horns was a resource in Ark well before this, so I assumed that they've basically taken that resource and given it a bit of a polish up to the the Atlas version of things. It's a keratin resource and has its own little wonderful image. When you are building a ramming galley now, you need 75 rhino horns. I don't understand the methodology behind that change. I mean, what are they actually saying on the ramming galley uses a rhino horn, right? So is it the ores themselves for the speeding up? They're saying that, you know, an ore needs a rhino horn, so that's why it's required in the purchase cost. I feel like they've just created this new resource and tacked it onto the ramming galley for the hell of it, rather than giving it actual thought as to how it's used on the ship. Unless I'm going to be completely missing the point of it, in which case maybe it's part of the Stormpunk that they keep, or they have alluded to. Maybe there's going to be some kind of funky new look and feel that the rhino horn will be a part of that. Boink. Right, we have our ramming galley. And so yes, when you look around these things, right, where do the rhino horns get utilised? What part of this vessel screams rhino horn to you? Because to me, it doesn't really. You know, is it part of the oars? Right? So I think with this whole redesign, they could have given this a little bit of thought. And maybe they've got a new plan for those rhino horns that aren't really for this ship, but they've just decided to chuck it in there for now. Or they just wanted a new resource to get people to go and do something for a while they keep their development up and running. Don't really know. But that's what we've got. 75 horns is actually a significant thing. You've actually got to go to an island that has rhino horns now. You've got to get 75 of them. And yeah, that's going to be quite time consuming to get one. But the thing that they did do with this is they actually fixed a whole bunch of stuff. So apparently the base speed of the RAM is now 40% faster. So that's good. Making it a hell of a lot bigger. The speed, let's have a look. Right. So apparently this is faster by 40%, and the turning speed while sails are closed is increased. Increased damage from all cannons from 100 to 125, so the cannons do a hell of a lot more damage. And the other thing, although I don't have any people on this one, apparently it now does damage to ships of the damned. Well, that's going to be fun to actually see. Ramming NPC ships with... Oh, so it's not actually ships of the damned, it's ramming NPC ships with the ramming galley now does damage. Alright, so let's get some speed up and we'll find out whether an NPC ship is actually counted as a ship of the damned. Ooh, that took some damage. I've disabled the cannon fire, so they shouldn't actually shoot. Let's give this a go. Wallop for all of 500 damage. Not very much. Alright. Well, let's turn on these suckers. We might hit it. No. Alright, we'll see if we can hit this one then. Level 3. Ship to the damned. No. Plonk. 3,000 damage. Okay, so it does a significant amount of damage to the smaller ships. Well, obviously, if you used cannon fire to pre-fire as you were ramming, so the two large cannons on the front, you could do a fair amount of damage. But against the galleon, that did absolutely no damage. And someone I was having a chat with on my other video was basically saying that, yeah, for the lower ships, so the brig, actually there's a brig there, we're going to chase it down and just see what sort of damage it does. There's about 3,000 damage on the small one, and we'll see if it does a similar sort of out on the brig. And so the galleon takes virtually no damage, probably due to the size. Come on, start rolling. Here we go. We got this guy good and lined up, maybe. Bam, 4,000. We got good speed on that one, so similar sort of damage. I'm not taking any damage running down the side of it, which is nice, but I'd have to test that again on the yeah, I'd have to summon a ship and see if I still take damage for running down the side of it. Alright, some other little bits and pieces, I guess, for the patch notes. There are a number of bug fixes with the RAM. I'm not going to go too much into those bug fixes. They're just simple things. There's an interesting change with the ship reversing mechanic. You now can actually reverse at all ships increased by 200% reverse speed. There you go, so you can move backwards twice as fast. Sounds pretty good to me. Okay, that was weird. I wasn't even trying, right? So obviously positionally, where you hit the ships of the damned and other ships has an impact on the amount of damage you do. Because my ores weren't even out then. I wasn't even using max speed. And it did 8,000 damage for a hit. I mean, that was pretty good. Well, as we sail back to my home port, I guess my final thoughts on this particular release is that the ramming ship has gone up a notch in terms of its usability and functionality. Just from the fact that they've allowed it to actually affect NPCs. Other than that, I mean, there's not much different. I think the 75 Rhino horns is just a little bit off, just because it doesn't make sense to put Rhino horns onto a ship. Maybe you make the ram out of Rhino horns. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's just kind of like, why do it that particular way? Obviously, we'll have customizations of the ram later on, apparently, but that will be the interior. It won't be the exterior. Will do. But if they actually gave us customization of the pieces, and it said that, alright, so to build the ram on the front, we can't actually see it from here. Let's get over and have a look. So that ram there, right? So if that particular piece, you know, to make it a sturdy piece, you need 75 horns to build that one little piece. I would understand that. But make that an attachable thing for other vessels, and I talked about this in my last one. And yeah, like this cabin itself, like you could have some other resource that goes into there. Or, I don't really know, we've already got wood, we don't really need anything else. But yeah, where do the 75 Rhino horns go in this? Has to be the ram, really. It's the only different piece. So yes, once again, thank you very much for watching Scarvig in the Atlas with this another quick weekly update. Again, more stuff is coming via the pipeline with Atlas. They are definitely really pushing hard to get new features out, albeit that the features are half-baked. They're actually, by their own admission, they're half-baked. They're planning on just trying to get stuff out there into the wild so that the players can obviously get some live feedback straight onto the things. They can obviously then, from their development team, can see the bugs as they come rolling through, and yeah, hopefully the iterations, I don't mind the iterations coming through thick and fast, but I do want to see more of the future. I want to see what it's going to look like, the Stormpunk, amongst other things. And they've delayed the new claim system, because apparently I noticed that there wasn't actually a release last week, and so with a delay of a week like this, it's pushing out the release of the new claim system into the new year. They've said early new year at this point, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. I'll actually have to try and get onto a server to be able to even utilize that one, seeing as claims aren't even a part of single player. Alright, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.